Yeah, the Zwift ride yesterday was phenomenal and I still feel it in my legs, which is good because I'm recovering. So here I am, your bike maintenance expert, Shy Bike, and today we're talking about removing the pedals from your bike and putting those back on it. First off, I'm going to show you one super easy method on how to memorize the whole process of removing or putting the pedals on your bike. You will just remember it once for your life, believe me. Second, I will show you the tools we use and some tricks, and at the end of this episode, 2 most common mistakes people do in this regard. All right, so let's start with the first part, which is memorizing how we actually do it. And it's not that complicated, really. When we try to memorize, there is just so many things to remember. Drive side, non-drive side, then clockwise, counterclockwise, and finally we think, okay, but does it apply to removing or putting the pedals back on your bike? So the best method here is simply to take, of course, the right pedal and spin the crankset. And that's it. Guys, it just couldn't be easier. The only thing you have to remember is that this is the method for putting the pedals on your bike. So just remember, if you buy a new bike, it won't come with the pedals. Come closer because there's so sunny weather. It comes without the pedals. The pedals are just separate, so you have to put them on. And also, there's a reason I have the bike on the floor, as you can see, not on the bike stand. It will be also in the 2 most common mistakes. It's on the floor, so we can only spin backwards, right? Backwards, not clockwise, counterclockwise, but backwards. Otherwise, the bike would try to go forward. So by spinning backwards, we are putting the pedals on our bike. And this method applies to both sides, which I'm going to show you right now. I'm on the other side, doesn't matter whether it's drive side, non-drive side. I'm doing the same thing here. And the pedal is there. Couldn't be easier, right? So let's just remove the pedal once more. And once you know the right side and should we do it counterclockwise or clockwise, now you know it. We should know a couple of things. There are different pedals, road pedals, MTB pedals. These you can also use for the road bike anyway. But you would basically use 2 different tools for different kind of pedals. Like this pedal, this is time. It uses only the Allen key, the 6 millimeters. Sometimes it's 8, I believe, but all of the pedals I have are 6 millimeters in order to put it on your bike. So you use Allen key for this one. And here we have Shimano M520. Many pedals will allow you to use both Allen key or the wrench. All right, so we have the 15 millimeters wrench here and the Allen key here. One thing we should establish before putting those pedals on the bike is what pedal is this, because the right pedal is threaded in a different way than the left one. On some pedals you will have some L and R mark on the pedal itself, on the platform, like here we have R, but we can also see R here. On this side it says chromoly axle, this one says R right, which is the right one. And here we don't have any infos on the axle, but there is some, well, where it was, yeah, it is here on the axle actually. Right and left. On some pedals which don't use the Allen key, you can also find the right symbol here on the inside of the axle. So just make sure you have the right one. If there was a case you don't have it, or it was maybe like painted and it's just removed, you don't have to be worrying that you will damage your thread but by trying to put the pedals on the crankset. If you just try to do it very, very gently, then you will find out, okay, this is the right one. So no problem with that. Of course, the thread should be clean. I'm using some, this is not rust, this is some anti-seize, is it called anti-seize lubrication? So it's something I'm using. So you know the tools, you know the right direction. So it's this one here. Super easy, right? Now, what can we do is to use the wrench like this. Bach, done. Or we could also use the Allen key, like having the pedal maybe here on the down, on the bottom of the pedal stroke, and screw it in. Finally, two most common mistakes people do in this regard is number one, using too much torque when putting the pedals on the bike, when screwing those in. You don't really have to use your whole body weight in order to really have them secure on your bike. You don't have to really. I would say Allen key on this side and just a bit of force, like just like that would be okay. Sorry, I can't tell you how many Newton meters, how much torque it should be, because I don't have a torque wrench just yet, which is terrible for my channel, but I'm gonna purchase a couple of these very, very soon. But don't use too much pressure on it. You don't have to really, because there is not so much force unscrewing your pedals. So not very, very little, but not too tight. And then the second most common mistake is actually linked to the first one, and it's using the bike stand in order to remove the pedals from your bike. Because when you have a bike and someone did use too much torque, the bike stand will flex, the seat post will flex, the top tube, whatever you use in order to mount the bike on the bike stand, it all flexes, and it makes removing the pedals so much more complicated. Not mentioning that you can damage some carbon seat post, for example. So having the bike on the floor makes the job so much easier, because it's so much more secure. Then you just do it like that. You don't have to worry about anything. As you can see, it's super stable, and we remove the pedals from your bike. So you know the method on how to put it on the bike, you know the tools, pretty much everything. If you have any further questions, I'm waiting down there in the comment section. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.